Hello everyone, welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. I am your educator Anjali and I am going to take UPSC Pledge series on geography. Here we are going to cover some important topics on physical geography in a total of 10 classes. So please do not miss an update from us. Please press the bell icon and do subscribe to Arpita Sharma classes. To download the PDF of this lecture, you can find it on the Telegram channel Simplifying UPSC with Ease. The link of the same is given in the description box below. The topic for today is major national highways in India. Have you ever traveled or have you ever wondered whenever you are traveling from one state to another, what are these milestones that have been named as NH mean? And these NH is nothing but the national highways. So, have you ever wondered how are they numbering it? 44, 4, 51, NH44, NH4, NH51? I'll tell you how they are numbered in this lecture. Stay tuned with me as we will discover everything that is there about the national highways in this lecture. And I will also cover some important current affairs also in this lecture. So let's start. The major national highways in India are only 2% of the total length in India. Okay, only 2%. And see, I have told you. Have you ever wondered what is NH44? I will tell you what is all this. Now, what are national highways? National highways are arterial roads of the country for interstate movement of passengers and also the goods. Okay, it is for the interstate movement. They traverse the length and width of the country, connecting the national and the state capitals. They will connect the major ports. They will connect the rail junctions. They will also link with the border roads and the foreign highways. And all these are the characteristics. This can be taken as characteristics of national highways as well. Now, who maintains these national highways? It is the National Highway Authority of India, that is NHAI. Whenever you are reading the Hindu newspaper, you usually come across this term. NHAI has laid down 500 kilometers of national highways. So, that is how you read the news. Whenever you read that sentence in the news, what becomes important from the current affairs part is what is NHAI and what is that new national highway? What it is connecting, that is which city and which city is it connecting, is it any prominent cities, and what is the importance of those cities also. This is what you will have to study when you are studying current affairs. Okay, what is NHAI? NHAI is the National Highway Authorities of India, and because it is National Highway Authority, they are having the work of maintaining these national highways, laying down these national highways, and it is set up under NHAI Act of 1988. It comes under Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. This is also important. It has been entrusted with the National Highways Development Project along with other minor projects for development, maintenance and also management. NHAI will maintain the national highways network to the global standards and cost effective manner, and it will also promote the economic well-being and quality of life of the people. It has completed the construction of 3,900 kilometers of national highways in 1 year itself, that is 2019 to 20. NHAI has mandated development of about 27 to 500 kilometers of national highways under Bharatmala Pariyojana Phase 1. I will also talk about this in the later part of this lecture. And if you are wondering why I have included points if for these for this topic, it is because this can also be asked in your, this is also a part of your what you call the main syllabus. So I want you to have points in one place, so I have included all some points about the national highways in here itself. Okay, when you're making notes, I can you will remember all this. Okay, the global standards, it is cost effective, economic well-being, all this, note down these. Okay, this will add value to your answers. Okay, 3,900 kilometers road has been laid down in this year and 500 kilometers in under Bharatmala project. If you mention about Bharatmala project, your answer will always have a edge on the answers of others. And what is this SARDPNE? NHAI is also helping in the implementation of Special Accelerated Road Development Program for the Northeastern region. This becomes very important because whenever you are talking about the national, what is the steps that are taken for the improvement of the northeastern region, you can include this point as well. Okay, you are giving special emphasis to the northeastern region's roads connectivity in this project. So this project also finds its importance in your mains answers. SARDPNE is a project to upgrade the national highways that are connecting the state capitals 2 lanes or 4 lane in the northeastern region. Even if it is formed as a prelims statement type of question, here it can be framed as SARDPNE is a project to upgrade the national highways connecting only the 4 lane roads. No, it is both the 4 lane and the 2 lane roads. So how is this Indian national highways, how are they numbered? See, you can see different numbers: NH2, NH4, NH22, NH44. You have even odd numbers also, you have even numbers as well. So here all the roads that are from north to south direction, that is all the roads that are in this direction, they are always having even numbers, and all the roads that are from east to west, that is in this direction, they are numbered in odd numbers. All the major national highways will be single digit or double digit in number. Okay, usually it is NH1, NH2, NH4, NH12, NH44, NH52, NH70, etc. Okay, the north-south highways will increase their numbers from east to west. That is, the numbers will increase from east to west. Okay, if it is 1 here, it will be 10 here. Just remember like this. Okay, from less to more will increase from east to west. For example, a particular north-south highway in central India or western India will have a higher number. Here it will have a higher number than here. That is, I will tell you, if you consider a map, whatever the national highway here, it will have a lesser number when compared to the national highway which is having a number here. So if you are asked to arrange those, it will not be asked usually, they won't give you numbers NH1, NH2 like that. If you know that NH44 is Kanyakumari to Kashmir, if you know that, you can arrange them from north to south or from east to west. Now you know that numbers are decreasing from here, numbers will increase from here to here. So if you know the what you call the names of these national highways, you can arrange them from east to west or from west to east. Okay, for example, a particular north-south highway in central India or western India will have a higher number than one in the eastern India. This is what I told you. Okay. Then 3-digit numbered highways are secondary routes, or they are the branches of the main highway. Okay, main highways are those that are in the north-south path and in the east-west path. If there is some diverging highways from here, or there are some sub-roads from the national highways, they are known as the secondary routes, or they are known as the branches of the main highway. So they will usually be 3 numbered. Okay, for example 144, 244, 344, etc. will be the branches of the main national highway of 44. What is the 44 highway? That is the longest highway from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. I have covered the important national highways in this lecture. Please watch them till the end so you can make the note of it. You will have no need to search for it in other places. Now, what is this suffix? Usually you would have seen 900A, okay, 400A, like this. You would have seen some numbers like this, okay, A, B, C, D. These are added to the 3-digit sub-highways. Okay, these are not added to the 2-digit or the single-digit one. This is also an important point. They are only added to the 3-digit sub-highways to indicate very small spin-offs of stretches of sub-highways. For example, 966A, 527B. That is, I'll tell you this in much clarity. Okay. See, if this is your national highway and there is some road diverging from here, you would have named it 966. Okay, you would have named it 966, and there is some one road only for a small stretch it is there, and after that maybe state highways will start connecting it or district ways will start connecting it. So this road will usually be named 966A or 960. Next, if something is there, 966B. It will be numbered like that. Okay, it is just a small stretch of the sub highways. Now, the important national highways I have mentioned here. Okay, NH1 is Delhi, Ambala, Jalandhar, Amritsar, Indo-Pak border. Okay, it is from Delhi to Indo-Pak border. It goes through Ambala, Jalandhar and Amritsar. NH1A. What is NH1A? It is the sub highway of NH1. Okay, and it is, see, it is diverging from here, from Jalandhar it is diverging. So it is Jalandhar, Madhopur, Jammu, Banihal, Srinagar, Barmula, Uri. Okay, you must have known the Uri attack that happened. It is the same Uri place. Okay, NH1B, it is from Batote, Doda, Kishtpur, Shintan Pass and Khanabal. And 1C, Domel to Katra, 1D, Srinagar, Kargil and Leh. NH2 Del, NH2, it's okay, this is again a okay, these the 1 to A, 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D are sub highways. Okay, these are the important national highways. NH2 again from Delhi, Mathura, it is from Delhi to Calcutta. This is important to remember. What it passes through, you can read it later also, but what is important is from which place to which place does it connect. Okay, it is from Delhi to Calcutta. Okay, it goes through Mathura, Agra, Kanpur, Allahabad, Varanasi, Mohania, Barhi Palsit, Baidal Bati, Bara, and 2A. This is a sub highway again. It is from Sikandar to Bhognipur. 2B, Burdwan Bholpur Road. It is going through Talit, Guskara and Bhedia. NH3, Agra Gwalior. It is from Agra to Mumbai. Okay, NH3 is from Agra to Mumbai. It goes through Gwalior, Shivpuri, Indore, Dhul, Nasik, Thane. NH4 again, it is a national highway. It is junction with the national highway number 3 near Thane, Pune, Belgaum to Chennai. It will go till Chennai. Okay, it is actually from Thane to Chennai. Okay, it will connect to the national highway 3 and then national highway 4 will start from there itself. From Thane, Pune, Belgaum, Hubli, Bangalore, Ranipet, Chennai. And 4A, 4B, they are sub highways. 4A is from Belgaum to Panaji. You should know where is Panaji. Okay, Goa. Belgaum to Panaji, it goes through Anmod and Ponda. Then 4B is from Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust near kilometer 109 Palaps. NH5, junction with the national highway number 6 near Barahagora, Katak, Bhubaneswar, Vishakhapatnam, Vijayawada, Chennai. 5A, it is a junction with the national highway number 5, that is usually this 5A is usually the sub highway is connected to the main highway. If it is 5A, it is connected to 5 itself. Okay, and this 5 is connected to 6. We'll see what is that 6 next. It is connecting near Haridaspur, Paradip Port. NH6 is from Hajira to Calcutta. It goes through Dhul, Nagpur, Raipur, Sambalpur and Bahragora. NH7 is from Varanasi to Kanyakumari. This is not the longest one, please remember. Varanasi to Kanyakumari might be a long distance, but Kashmir to Kanyakumari is the longest highway. Okay, Varanasi to Kanyakumari, Mangavan, Rewa, Jabalpur, Lucknow, Nagpur, Hyderabad, Kurnool, Bangalore, Krishnagiri, Salem, Dindugal, Madurai, Cape. 7A is the sub highway of 7, Palayam Kottai, Tuticorin Port. NH8 from Delhi to Mumbai. From Delhi to Mumbai, it goes through Jaipur, Ajmer, Udaipur, Ahmedabad, Vadodara. 8A and 8B are the sub highways of NH8. It is from Ahmedabad to Narayan Sarovar, Ahmedabad, Limdi, Morvi, Khandla, Mandvi, Vikhari, Kotra, Nalia Narayan Sarovar. Then NH8B is from Bamanbor, Rajkot and to Porbandar. Okay, this becomes important again. Okay, this might be asked because Porbandar is a place that is mentioned in our history books. So this might become important. From Barampur, from Bamanbor to Porbandar. 8C, 8D, 8E is also there. It is from Chiloda to Sarkhej, Chiloda Gandhinagar Sarkhej, Somnath to Bhavnagar. NH9 is from Pune to Machilipatnam. Okay, Pune, Sholapur, Hyderabad, Vijayawada, Machilipatnam. NH10 again is from Delhi to the Indo-Pak border, but it goes only through Fazilka. And NH11 is from Agra to Bikaner, Agra, Jaipur, Bikaner. This is also an important road. NH11A, Manoharpur, Dausa, Lalsot, Kothum. NH12 is from Jabalpur to Jaipur. It goes through Bhopal, Khilchipur, Akhlera, Jalawar Kota, Bundi, Dioli Tong, etc. Sorry, not etc. Jaipur. NH18, junction with the NH7, it joins NH7 near Karnool and Nandyal to Kadapa, and junction with NH4 near Chittoor. NH19, Ghazipur, Balia to Patna. NH20, Pathankot to Mandi. This is also important. NH21, junction with the National Highway number 22, that is Ambala to Shipkila. Shipkila is a pass. Okay. Junction with the National Highway number 22 near Chandigarh, Ropar, Bilaspur, Mandi, Kullu, Manali. 22 is from Ambala to the Indo-China border near Shipkila Pass. NH23, Chas to, it will connect to the National Highway number 42, Chas, Ranchi, Rourkela, Talcher, junction with the National Highway number 42. NH24, from Delhi to Lucknow, it goes through Bareilly. This is also important. NH27, Allahabad to Mangavan. Gorakhpur to Varanasi is NH19. NH30, junction with the NH2. Junction with the NH2 is nothing but, junction is nothing but it will go and join that road. And NH2 near Mohania to and Patna to Bakhtiarpur. NH35, Barsat to Petropol on India and Bangladesh border. NH39, Numaligarh to Palel and Indo-Burma border. NH47 is from Salem to Kanyakumari. NH47A is forms junction with 47 at Kundanur to Wellington Island in Kochi. 47C, junction with NH47 at Kalamassery to Vallarpadam ICTT in Kochi. NH55 is from Siliguri to Darjeeling. NH56, Lucknow to Varanasi. NH58, Delhi to Manapas. 79, Ajmer to MP border through Nazirabad. NH151, from Karimganj to the Bangladesh border. 152, from Patachar Kuchi to Bhutan border. 153, from Ledo to Myanmar border, Indo-Myanmar border, it goes through Lekha Pani. 233, the highway starting from Indo-Nepal border connecting to Lumbini via Naugar, Siddharth Nagar, Bansi, Basti, Tanda, Azamgarh and terminating at Varanasi. NH44, very important. NH44 is the longest national highway in India. It is 3,700 kilometers from Srinagar to Kanyakumari, almost from north to the southern tip. NH44 is the longest highway in India. Previously it was called as NH7. It passes through the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. In addition, this is very important because this can be asked in the statement type of questions. In addition to the states of Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. You can see it crosses many states when compared to other national highways. NH47A is the shortest highway of India, having length of only 6 kilometers. There are 228 national highways, which is impossible for us to cover, so I have included only the important ones in the exam point of view. So because of this, for the development of national highways, transportation is very important for the movement of people and for the movement of goods, etc. When you want to travel from the Kashmir to Kanyakumari, you imagine if the road is not proper, what will happen? Your travel time will increase. Because your travel time has increased, all your other activities you are not able to give sufficient time, and most of your time is usually lost in traveling. And what about the inconvenience that is caused because of the bad roads? That is also an important point. So all this also concerns the government. So government takes a lot of steps to keep the roads that people travel in good condition. They give good connectivity to the important strategic places that are present, important tourist places that are present. So for this, different types of projects are launched. Okay, one of them is the Bharatmala project. Bharatmala project is for the development of 26 that is 26,000 kilometers of length of economic corridors, along with the Golden Quadrilateral and north, south, east, west corridors are expected to carry the majority of free traffic on roads. For example, I'll give you the example of this Golden Quadrilateral. Okay, from Bangalore to Chennai, okay, it usually takes you about 6 hours to travel. Okay, Because of this golden quadrilateral, that the plan that has been put now from Bangalore to Delhi, it is going some crossway. It is not going through the normal NH4. This is the NH4 that you travel from Bangalore to Chennai, and usually when you have to travel to this road, it will take you almost 6 hours to travel to Chennai. Okay, this is uninterrupted, no interruption. You just have to cross 2-3 tolls when you are going, but it is a fine road. Okay, you can travel, but they are laying down this golden quadrilateral, which is almost going to reduce this 6 hours into almost 4 hours or 3 hours, because this will have, you will have no what you call, it will have a lot of lanes. Now whatever the lane that is there between the 4 and Bangalore and Chennai is the 4 lane road. Okay, 2 lane road. Okay, one is going and other is coming back road, and here they are going to lay a 4 lane road and with a bigger service roads. When you want to just get down from the road and go connect to some other road that is below this golden quadrilateral, you can just go into the sub roads. Okay, these sub roads are also going to be big enough to so that the main road traffic is not interrupted. So because of this, the slow moving lorries or the bigger vehicles that are carrying some goods, okay, that will not be disrupting your way when you're going. When you have 4 lanes, there is enough space for everybody to travel. So these what you call, the heavy vehicles will not be disrupting your traffic. So your travel time is definitely reduced to few minutes lesser. Okay, this is the Bharatmala project. This is there in news now, so this is very important. Okay, I'll just read it out. Economic corridors of 9,000 kilometers to unlock the full economic potential. Inter-corridor or feeder corridor of 600 kilometer ensuring holistic connectivity. National corridors efficiency improvement 5,000 kilometers in improving the efficiency. Border roads and international connectivity 2,000 kilometers boosting border connectivity. Coastal roads and port connectivity 2,000 kilometers leveraging ports for progress. Greenfield Express 800 kilometers express speeds for express gains. Balance NHDP works 10,000 kilometers boosting all-round connectivity. These points are very important. That's why I read it out. You can directly include them in your answer writing. There is 34,800 kilometers of roads will be constructed under the Bharatmala project. It is like connecting India like never before. Okay. There is a fund of 5,35,000 crores are to be invested in the Bharatmala project. So seeing the amount itself, you can tell how important is this Bharatmala project, and in turn how important is the road connectivity, how important is the maintenance of the roads. It calls for improvement in efficiency of existing corridors also. It was going to improve. It is not only going to build the new ones, but existing ones also, the quality will be improved. Through development of multimodal logistic parks and elimination of choke points, it enhances the focus on improving the connectivity in the Northeast and leveraging synergies with inland waterways. The Northeast Economic Corridor enhancing connectivity to state capitals and the key towns. These 2 points again important when you are asked about Northeastern. Multimodal freight movement via 7 waterway terminals on river Brahmaputra, Dubri, Silghat, Biswanath Ghat, Niyamati, Dibrugarh, Sengajan, Oriyama. It emphasizes on the use of technology, scientific planning for project preparation, asset monitoring. It calls for seamless connectivity with neighboring countries. 24 integrated checkpoints will be identified. Transit through Bangladesh to improve the northeastern connectivity, integrating Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal and Myanmar. Thailand corridors, which will make northeastern hub of East Asia. Satellite mapping of the corridors will be done for identifying upgradation whenever it is required. This is some important feature, also important for what? Science and technology, because science and technology, where it is being used to map the corridors. Okay, the satellites are nothing but the product of science. So that this becomes important in science and technology as well. Here I would like to include another point. When in news, you have usually seen these FASTags. Okay, these FASTags, how you are going to link with other topics is like this. Whenever you are constructing a golden quadrilateral and you don't have a FASTag, you are going to waste a lot of time, because many people will take this road because it is faster, smoother, whatever you call, okay, there will be lesser disruptions in the road. People will usually choose this road, and whenever you have a toll in that road, definitely there will be more traffic. Okay, when you don't have systems like FASTag, whatever time you have saved in traveling by other alternative road, all that time will be consumed near the toll itself. So that is how you will link one topic to other topic. Okay, when you have Godel quadrilateral and it is accompanied with systems like FASTag, you just think you're just going and you're not wasting even 5-10 minutes near the toll. Okay, just a matter of 2 minutes where you will slow down and your RFID reading will be done from the FASTags and you just exit that toll. Okay, that is how you link one topic with the other topic. Okay, so this is all for today. I think this was helpful. I will come back with other topics. I will have the linkages of current affairs as well wherever I am teaching that topic. So if there is some doubt regarding the topics that I have explained, please comment in the comment box. Please like, subscribe and comment, and thank you.